So dealing with so dealing with OCD and the compulsions you get, which are obsessive. One of the things I've done to help myself deal with it is I actually keep a journal. Ironically, even while I'm doing this video, I'm struggling very hard not to tilt my head in a certain angle because for some reason on the web screen I want it to it's hard to smell. I'm kind of going, oh, that's left, that's right. So constantly plagued. I'm actually becoming open and being vulnerable about them because these things are constantly going on in an OCD man's head or woman, an OCD person's head, with the brain of an OCD person. So what I've found can help, is effective to an extent, it's keeping a journal. Now, if you keep a journal, it tends to be useful when you're snowing outside. It tends to be useful when you're going back, and I'm thinking about the snow now, when you're going back over it. See, this is actually really hard because I'm really struggling because I'm very conscious of people will be watching this, so therefore the nerve, it's kind of a nerve, now I'm conscious of which hand's up, that's left, that's right, now I'll just do my hands look okay. I'm probably going to leave this in because it's me being transparent, but I'm going to try and push on because I'm at 2 minutes so far and I haven't got anywhere. So keeping a journal is a good thing to do. If you keep a journal, you can look back at it and see if you've made any progress. Now in a journal, what I tend to do is I tend to use it on my phone. I'll open it up and I will put complex shaking hands with my friend Chris. It does his head in because I have to do it so many times. It's actually abnormal and unusual. So if I shake hands and it doesn't feel like he's gripped my hand the same as I've gripped his, or his grip is stronger or my grip's stronger, I've got to do it again. And it's so annoying because this actually starts happening with everybody. It starts to breed itself. An obsession becomes obsessive and it multiplies and just gets worse and worse for someone with OCD. So what I've tried to do sometimes, say I'm shaking a stranger's hand, can't keep going back saying, can I shake your hand again? Even though I do make excuses to do it. It's fun. It would be funny if it wasn't true. Is I'll go away feeling uncomfortable because I haven't shaken the hand correctly. It hasn't got rid of that OCD. No, the OCD hasn't got rid of the OCD thing in my mind. I'm thinking that was wrong. That was too hard. That was too soft. Our hands didn't feel right. There's something wrong. So I go away and I write in my journal. Shaking hands with someone, it felt awful. I feel crap, I feel bad, I can't focus on anything because I need to shake his hand again, or her hand, or whatever. And then about an hour later, or 2 hours later, I write in the journal, I haven't done anything to alleviate the complex. I haven't gone back and done an OCD compulsion. And then I'll write how I feel. I feel terrible. I feel like everything's going to end. I feel like I wish I was dead. I just can't stand life, can't stand people, hate everything. Feel dark and lost. And then 6 hours later, I'll write, feeling crap, having a bad day today because of this. I feel much better than I did an hour after the event. But I feel better and it's not so bad. And then 12 hours later, I'm managing, I'm not thinking about it so much now. And then normally the next day, I'm not really thinking about it at all. And it's kind of like a lot of work and a lot of feeling bad all day long, which affects how you are with people. Normally I come back and lie down on my bed, feel rubbish. That's why I work for myself, because I can just bail out whenever things get a little bit too much and nobody needs to know. The next day or the 2 days after, I can look at the journal and write down, that's not bothering me now. And I'm not bothered about it. And the journal becomes useful when you look back and see the progress you've made, and also when you are able to look, you have a similar obsession happen, and you're able to then go, okay, well, this has happened before. I'm going to look in my journal at the last person I shook hands with and it didn't feel right. And I know in an hour's time I'm going to feel crap. Well, let's just keep busy. Because in 6 hours' time, I'm going to start to feel not so bad. The next day, I wouldn't care less. And if you carry on with that policy and that exercise, you'll... Oh, I've got to get a less squeaky chair. I've got to stop doing that as well, because that's annoying when you listen to it back. If you do the journal, you'll find that it will help. But it's blinking hard. It's really, really hard, and it's a lot of work to do for a very, very little bit of reward. And I would say out of the journals I've kept, say 20 of the things I've obsessed or struggled with, I've normally gone back and messed it up anyway by having to go back and shake the person's hand or do the twitch, do the habit, do the obsession. And I'm nearly on 6 minutes now. I try not to blither on too much because it's really, really... I watched a couple of these back and I thought, oh God, it's hard work to listen to. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll get better as I go along with this stuff. It's actually incredibly hard, but some of my first attempts were so awful to watch. Anyway, moving on. Thanks.